that green life. Boy, there's a good example of going from bright green to live, right? That's a space, perhaps soprano, high part and middle part at least, on that green, especially on the second note of green. We're going to want to like shift that a little bit rather than singing green. You kind of trying to do that.
But we shouldn't be really doing green anyway, right? In the first place.
Yes. No, I want it to be green. We probably will. We probably want something closer to I than E there. Yeah. But I just wanted to point out those two contrasting vowels. Let's go back to the new part. You did well on the Celestial Symphony, except for sopranos. Please, 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 on the last measure of 8, would you please write 1, 2? Okay, well, it's like the easiest thing in the world, but we almost every time somebody comes in on 2 instead of 3. But let's look at the rhythm as we go from the last note of 9 to 10. So we're just going to speak that rhythm. And there's a little bit of a cello rondo that happens, not much, just a little bit, so it's a little tiny bit faster by the time you have your pickup to that. So the first, we're starting on the word like. 1, 2, 3. Like grass upon which the dew. Yeah, so grass upon which the dew, right? We have triplets there. Okay, one more time. 1, 2, 3. Like grass 2 upon which the dew falls. Breath for the lower parts, infused with green light. All right, now let's put some pitch back into that. Thank you, Angela. Now everybody's like, oh. Here we go. 2, 3. Like grass. So we're in unison there, yeah? Just for that little bit. 1, 2, 3. Like grass upon which the dew falls. We start off piano and in the course of only one measure we have to get to forte. So really big crescendo there. Notice that the lower 2 parts breathe on falls and then the repetition of the word falls, but the upper part does not. So we want that to carry through. If you need to breathe somewhere in that long note, whatever you do, don't breathe there. All right, one more time. Back to the same pickup. 1, 2, 3. Like grass upon which the dew falls, infused with green light. Yeah, and keep it strong all the way through those 4 beats so that we have a nice strong cutoff. Let's go back and put that with the section that comes before. And Alison is going to shift a little bit more towards piano, only jumping in if you really, really need her. Back to 41 with all the celestial. 3 and 4 and 1. Oh, the celestial symphony, resounding through all nights of starting from 45 without the ah in the soprano, just the lower 2 parts. Measure 45 and 1. are those intertwining celestial symphony lines, less of the ah from the sopranos. Okay, you're just kind of floating overhead. And everybody, as we have this line, it's like it blossoms forth. And then falls away. We really want to hear that, especially when the lines kind of overlap. It's really lovely the way it kind of cascades there. Everybody back to 41. 3 and 4 and 1. Celestial symphony. Pushed ahead a little bit, and we're just a little slow getting off upon. So I want to just do that little section right from, Allison, can you start at 50? And really count it to yourselves, right? And I'll count it out loud as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 1. Yeah, okay? Let's do it one more time. Same thing. 3 and 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. It already says like that it's speeding up, but just something like don't drag or count or something like that.
And I just, it's a question or a remark on measure 44, 45. I don't hear all the rows getting that rhythm right.
Okay, let's check that. Go back a measure before that. Is it because of the shift? Well, we'll find out.
Yeah.
Let's do it, Lowe's, from measure 43. And 1. When will it all bless a symphony? 1, 2. Resounding through you. Seems. It could be because you hear so much of that triplet, you want to make those duples into a triplet. I'm not sure. I didn't hear that in the moment when we were doing it with the other parts. But the sopranos who are singing kind of at the same time as you, they don't have triplets against that rhythm, so you're not fighting another part there. Okay, but thank you, Mara, for pointing that out. Let's move ahead from where we just ended. Let's just do Infused with Green Life, and then we'll read on past that. Nice crescendo that you have going here. 3 and 4. And this is a place where it's very, very helpful. I have it written in mine. I bet Allison does too. Well, maybe not, because you just have 16 notes going all through there. But write the counts above. So the first now comes on what beat? Who can tell me? The and of one. What about the word all? The and of three. So I put one on the rest, and then an and over now, and then 2, 3, and an and over a plus sign. That's what I do, but you could do whatever you want. Over the word all. And then what about the word shines?
4.
Right on B4, right? What about now? The second now.
2.
It's right on the beat, right? You might be inclined to think it's syncopated, but it's not. But the word all is on the and of 3, right? Okay, and then the other one's easy, I think. So let's just speak that right at 58. 3, 4, 1. Now all shines. Now all shines in joy. Let's do that one more time just so everybody feels that. 3, 4, and 1. Now all shines. Now all shines in joy. To me, I think the place where we're most likely to go off is on the second now all, right? Because it feels a little awkward there. I think it will make sense in the music, but just off the bat. All right, let's put some pitch with that. 3, 4, 1. Now shines, now shines in joy. Great. Let's make sure that our S of shines is not making us late. So we have now all shines, shines on the end of that. All right, one more time, putting the S in the right place. 3, 4, and 1. Now all shines, now all shines in joy. Keep going. 2, 3. Because of let's try that again. Let me hear the lower 2 parts at pick up to 62, bottom of 11. And 1. 2, 3. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, off. Not going to accelerando that much, but you get the idea. Yeah, good. So you notice there that the lows were actually above the middles for some of that. So let that put it out. All right, now sopranos. So nice ah sound, nice open, like our warm up. And 1. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, off, and so forth. Yeah. Just watch that break, everybody. Watch the F natural going down there, right? I hope you all circled that as you came to it. So sopranos, just making sure that we're giving ourselves as much space there as we can, so that and luckily it's forte. We don't have to try to sing it softly, but we want to make sure that we're keeping that open. We're changing the vowel to ah, right? All those things. Let's back up to pick up to page 10, so like grass. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so here's another one where we're going to cut off, and Allison gets the last word there. All right, let's see. I'd love to see if we can do this whole piece. We did the hardest bit. Okay. All the way back to the beginning. Why don't you stand? And before we do, I just want to remind you about something we talked about a couple weeks ago. On page 3 and on 4, on these oohs that you have, as each part is coming in, we're making that shape, we're leaning in, and then we're decrescendoing. In some cases you have a change of note, in other cases you don't, but regardless of whether you have a change of note, you're still making that same shape. Almost like a wind kind of coming through. You'll hear it's really beautiful on the recording that I have for you on the study page. I think you'll really hear that. It's very effective. All right. looking right at me and still singing when I give the cutoff. Before we leave that, I just want to have a seat. I just want to fix a place where we didn't totally have a train wreck, but we also weren't singing the music. It was a silent train wreck.
When you bring us in, you don't give us the third beat, you just bring us right in.
Well, where I'm talking about was a whole bunch of oohs where I just think we didn't have the pitches. I don't think it was a question of my bringing you in. So let's go to all the way back to page 2.
Yeah. And are we owing and doing a certain?
Yes, so it's sometimes it's ooh first and then oh. So whatever it says in the music, and she's very intentional about that. So, all right, here we go. You are the sacred. 3, 4. Bottom of 2. Yeah, so it's all these oohs right here from the bottom of 3. So lows, let me just hear you lows from the top of 3 in making sure that we can find that B flat. And 1. Let's hear it from the sopranos, the high part at 13. Everybody from there, top of that page, and 1. Crescendos and the decrescendos. Of course, we have to have the notes before in order for that to be effective. But yeah, let's do that one more time. That's almost there, almost there. Watch that there is a little retard low, so wait for me at measure 17. Don't go without me. Okay, here we go. Back to 13 and 1. That kind of that leaning in and leaning away. When it might be hard to hear in your own part, but when we put that all together, it really does. You kind of feel this like almost like wind going through a cave or something like that. It's really, really cool. All right, very good work on that. We made it all the way through. We still have some cleanup to do. So sectionals, you hopefully made notes of where we need a little extra work, but that's coming together. Very pleased. Lastly, we are going to look at There Is Sweet Music. So, starting next week and weeks that follow will be called Weaning Ourselves Off the Piano on the acapella things. So, this will be right up at the front of the list of that. But we'll get one more week of help from the piano. No, I won't just yank the rug out from you. You'll hear less of your part starting next week. All right, so let's just, we haven't sung this in a couple of weeks. Let's kind of refresh our memories. One. Let's make it views, since this is kind of a little more formal poetry on or night dews. Little bit of a Y there. Let's go back to the beginning once again. Lots of E vowels in this, so a lot of adjusting. I didn't even purposefully plan to do the warm-up that we did in conjunction with this, but it works out because we really have to do a lot of adjusting of vowels, especially sopranos when you're up high. You're right in that tricky part a lot in this piece between like E, F, all in that, which is very tricky. So you've got to give yourself every advantage. Do that little trick that we've talked about, like if you're partway through the rehearsal, which we're almost all the way through the rehearsal. Do the shoulder roll trick. Kind of do a little stretch. Lift up your torso. Make sure you're sitting at the edge of your seat, so you're giving yourself every advantage. Shifting our vowels. All right, all of that stuff. And one. That just so that alto ones can see where that first change of note is, and then holding on for the alto twos.
Shadowy granite. We have an F and they have G, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think
we'll get that in just a second. I want to actually hear the sopranos for a minute, and then we'll go back and we'll get that. Can I hear sopranos at or night views? One. That time it had a little more lift to it, and also the E natural was a little higher, which was very good. All right, with that, let me hear the altos at the same place, which starts only with the alto ones, and alto twos you don't come in till on still, right? Here we go. One. Alto twos on between walls. 1, 2, 3. Between walls of shadowy granite. So that's not hard to do by itself, right? The only thing that's hard is when they're singing their note, right? So this is A lot of times I would not say this, like to not listen to the other part, but this is a case where it's easier to try to just hear your part and not try to like fit it with the G. All right? Let's put those two parts together back again at on night or night 1. Alto 2 is just on that last part in a gleaming. And it's just the smallest of half steps going down there, right? Let's put everybody together, or night views, and 1. I'm hearing a lot of between, but can we make that more between, a little more towards it, both ones, but especially the first one. It really sticks out. One more time. 1. Up on that same, I mean, you're not together amongst altos and sopranos, but sopranos are together and altos are together. So be really listening for that, because it's hard to, there's a little bit in the cracks there. Just sing in a gleaming pass, sorry sopranos, make you do that again, and then finding that music right away. And measure 22. Just speak that rhythm, please. And music that brings sweet sleep down from the blissful sky. Yeah, okay. There's some of you that want to make that on an and 2, but it's not. It's right on B2. Let's take it right there at 22. There's only 2 beats there. Sorry. Let's take it right at and in the stream. Sorry, again, sopranos. And 3. Good. Yeah. Let me just hear the altos there and the streams. So they sing, listen to their part, and then you're just coming in right below that. Just listen to in the streams. It does. kind of almost have to pretend you're singing their part and then come down that one note. All right? Don't sing it sopranos. Allison's going to do it for you. And with all this chromatic step, all those descending half steps have to be just really, really small, especially once we take the piano away. Then we'll talk about that in a couple weeks in our vocal warm-up stuff about descending intervals and some of the pitfalls with that. All right, let's go back to 26. Everybody, 26. 3, 4. That was you. Beautiful piano solo. So you have we, 2, 3, 4, 1, and from, right? You don't have much time there. It's tired. You're tired, I know. All right, we're almost there. We only have like 4 measures to go. Here we go. And from, and 1. Yeah. So what am I going to say? Who can tell me what I'm going to say?
Too loud.
About, and why is it too loud?
Because
Because we're in unison. There you go. See, you don't need me. You can help yourself. And 1. All right, good work on that. Keep working on all this stuff. We're getting there. I think I gave us a break from Cantaras for tonight. I hope you appreciated that. But we're going to be back at it next week. So.
yes.
All right, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Allison.